Welcome back to the SportsMax Zone. The Jamaica Reggae Boyz suffered their 5th defeat in 10 games. As action continued in CONCACAF World Cup qualifying Sunday, the Paul Hall coach team went down 3-2 to Panama, who tightened their grip on 4th place, while the Jamaicans with the defeat slipped to 7th spot, languishing on 7 points from 10 games. Now 11 points off an automatic qualifying spot. For the Jamaicans, their struggle in this campaign and against Panama in World Cup qualifying basically continuing. The boys entering the fixture in a bid to win their first World Cup qualifying match on Panamanian soil, dating back to 2004. Here's a look at Sunday's full results of the games played in the CONCACAF World Cup qualifying. The Canadians with a very, very satisfying for them 2-0 victory over the USA. Panama 3-2 over Jamaica, we told you that. No goals between Mexico and Costa Rica, and El Salvador defeating Honduras by 2-0. And a look at the points table now, showing the Canadians 4 points atop the table. The USA and Mexico second on 18 points each. The USA with a better goal difference. Panama in 4th. And the top 3 have automatic spots to the World Cup. And the 4th place team will have a intercontinental playoff to get into the World Cup. So at the moment, the Panamanians are in a position to get to the World Cup. Costa Rica, El Salvador, Jamaica and Honduras are the 4 teams at the bottom half of the table, and they've got a lot of work to do if they're to displace the top 4. Joining us now to review Jamaica's latest action in the CONCACAF World Cup is Juan Arango, a man busy doing commentary in the octagonal. And disappointing effort again, Juan, by the Jamaicans against a Panamanian team that had to rebound from a Jamaica early goal.
Not only rebound from an early Jamaica goal, also a missed penalty. I mean, it was brilliant how Andre Blake was able to make that save. But more importantly, it was the fact that, well, Panama came out of the blocks pretty slow. And on top of that, they had lost to Costa Rica in the previous match. So that ended up compounding things. But Thomas Christensen's men were able to come back. It's more of a testament of what Jamaica haven't been able to do compared to what Panama was capable of doing yet again. Yeah,
your assessment of Paul Hall in the 2 games that he has now been in charge. You were on commentary for the Mexico game, weren't you? And then we saw them against Panama. Your thoughts on his strategizing, and if you see any major difference in the team setup and strategy from Theodore Whitmore's reign?
I mean, obviously, if we compare the 2 coaches, there's a much greater sample size of matches to be able to deal with in different types of tournaments and different types of formats. But all that being said, Paul Hall at times seemed to be very meek in terms of his offensive disposition. It was, well, if we can find Mikel Antonio, great. If he can get the ball, even better. If he can connect with someone.
I think we had some slight audio issues there with Juan Arango.
Yeah.
Let's hope we get him back pretty soon. But disappointing for the Jamaicans, and every match they play in this CONCACAF World Cup qualifying. Yep, well, Juan, you're back now. You had a bit of a stutter there in the audio.
No, it's okay. I mean, I don't know if you heard the part. It's more Paul Hall, from an offensive standpoint, really lacking a lot of wherewithal as well as gumption going forward against the Mexico side that was coming in a bit wounded. And if there was a chance to be able to take some points away from them, it was this past week. And I think that's the biggest problem. And in Panama, too, you saw them get on top, but then they conceded the ball to Panama, saying, here, go, try and beat us, possess the ball, do what you can. We'll stay back and we'll defend. But offensively, there was nothing really else to do from a Jamaican standpoint. I think that's the most...
I think you were getting ready for a question for Juan.
Maybe you can answer my questions. What do you think about that?
Until we get Juan back.
Yeah, so, you know, I was at the previous match in Jamaica, versus Mexico, and we'll be up against Costa Rica on Wednesday. I'll be there again, Lance. And, you know, seeing the players live and in living colors, and just, you know, knowing that every time they get that lead, Lance, they give it up. It really, it's a bit heartbreaking. Yeah. You know, you just get frustrated when you have to see them, you know, bounce back from a good start and end up losing the match. It's not good for Jamaica Reggae Boyz fans. Yeah,
Juan, frustrating is a word that Mariah just used. Do you think this team has the quality to do better than they are doing at the moment?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I believe so. I believe that there's a lot more offensive potential. You need to take advantage of it. There is very little in terms of the strategy that Paul Hall's setting up that you can really say, you know what, they're really going for the game. Against Mexico, it was one opportunity and one opportunity.
Yeah, we keep having problems with.
Yeah, he just keeps
Juan.
freezing.
Yeah, I'm stuttering there. But it is obvious that Juan thinks that the team has been disappointing based on the quality of the roster. And, you know, there have been a lot of comparisons between this team and the team that went to the 1998 World Cup finals, because a lot of football fans in Jamaica feel that on paper, that this roster has more quality than the team that qualified for the World Cup in 1998. But, you know, when you say that, you also have to recognize that the preparation and the build-up and the organization for the job would have been far superior in 1998 to this current setup. You know, we had situations where we were coming into an important game and players were debuting for the team.
Yeah.
That didn't really happen in the 1998 setup. They had a nucleus that had been building for 2 years, 40 to 50 practice matches and so on overall. So, Juan, I gather that you're back now. Are you agreeing with the narrative here that maybe from a preparation standpoint, chemistry and the team gelling, that has been a downfall for this team?
It has been, because there hasn't been enough continuity, and a lot of it has to do with the pandemic itself. You missing players due to COVID restrictions, COVID travel into certain countries, or going back into Jamaica has been an issue. The Premier League not allowing some of the players to fly into the Caribbean to be able to play some matches, or some countries where they happen to be red listed. So there's been a lack of continuity there, but it's not the only excuse. You have to start looking at it, the good job, at least, that Jamaica's been able to do in recognizing some of these talents, in recruiting them to be able to be part of the program. That's a positive. But you start looking at the youth levels as well. Who's the last player that's been able, or last three players that have come out of the Jamaican under-20s and under-17s? I could probably think of two off the top of my head. And Javane Brown, and you start looking at Tope as well, that's another option. But outside of those two players, rarely do you see in Jamaican football, or recently in Jamaican football, a player come out of the youth system and become a contributor more than anything else. So to me, that's the biggest issue in terms of what
Yeah, we lost Juan again. I think we've probably got to leave it there. But I wanted, if we get him back, to give me a quick comment on Kevin Stewart, who is the newest player brought into the Jamaica Reggae Boyz setup. Saw him for a few minutes yesterday, and I think you know, at 28 years old, he has something to offer to Jamaican football. Look confident on the ball, and maybe the next time we talk to Juan, we'll get his views on Kevin Stewart. He plays for Blackpool.
Sounds good. I had the opportunity to meet him when I was there.
Yeah,
the last game.
You'll see him on Wednesday as well for the Costa Rica game. We go to break. Still more to come on the SportsMax Zone, including our link with the UWI JFF Captain Horace Burrell Centre of Excellence Field. George Davis is there for what has happened so far today in the Jamaica Premier League.